દર્શના મને સાઉન્ડ જ નથી આવતો.
Sir, everyone is muted.
Yeah, you are also muted, Raghavendra ji. I was also muted. 1 second. 1 second before I complete the formalities. I see Nirlep Kaur Chauhan not muting herself. Request you, Nirlep ji, please mute your speaker. We cannot have noise-free environment in the group. If anyone has in an unmuted position and having some noise, request you all, and thank you for the cooperation. Go ahead, sir. You are good to go.
Namaste, everyone. Saluting the divinity within all of you. Let's do a very short prayer. Keep your hands at the heart center. Keep your eyes closed. Keep a beautiful smile on your lips. You may silently repeat after me. We pray, we invoke blessings to the Supreme God, the source of all energy, to my spiritual teacher, to all the spiritual teachers and all the great ones, all the holy gurus, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, and spiritual helpers, all the angels of light, angels of love, angels of power. We humbly ask for divine blessings, divine guidance, divine help, and divine protection. We thank you in full faith. So be it. With lots of gratitude, lots of respect, lots of love. We thank you. So be it. Tathastu. Amina. Amen. Be received to be away. Inhale and absorb the blessings. With a beautiful smile. Exhale. Open your eyes with a beautiful smile. Namaste, everyone. Welcome back. After celebrations. Okay, let's dive into the topic. Earlier, you asked how to choose a student. So, we'd like to give a little bit of a overview on how to select a right students. So, let me share my screen. Now, so we have different body types. So we can see basic body types are 3. They call ectomorph, mesomorph, endomorph. So if you observe the structure, this particular people in a rectangular shape, like a palm tree, right? So a little bit wider back and square shape. So most of the cases, our idea to pick a right students is this type, because you can just check how many types of practices we have. We have 5 different categories. First one is forward bending, backward bending, twisting, hand balancing, leg balancing. Just compare whether this by seeing them whether they can able to do such asanas or not. You can choose some of the asanas. You can just bring some of the asanas in your mind. Let's say forward bending. Yes, everybody can do. These 3 people can do forward bending. Backward bending can be done by 3 of them. Twisting, the first type person can easily able to do. Second type person, maybe let's say if we give the star rating instead of giving tick mark, Let's say like this, 3 stars to back bending also. Now, when it comes to twisting, the second body type mesomorph, they can't be able to do twisting as the person who is having body type of ectomorph. Let's say this person may have a twister. The third person twisting is very less because of the wider waist. And so hand balancing. So based on the body weight, these people can able to do body weight practices. Hand balancing, because of the heavy mass in the body, the third type of the people can able to do little bit of hand balancing. Leg balancing. So leg balancing asanas is a combination of a back bending and forward bending, as you remember. So if you see maximum back bending, let me correct here. Maximum back bending with endomorph people is not possible. You have to understand here. And maximum forward bending also not possible. So limitation. So hand balancing, leg balancing is some extent limited when you compare with the remaining two people to the endomorph people. So ideally, the people who have a ectomorph body type is more right people when it comes to yogasana competitions. Of course, second priority mesomorph and least priority endomorph. Here, height also matters. Let's say the athlete is athlete's height is average height. Let's say 5'6" to 6'2", something like that. About 6 o'clock. I mean 6 feet height. This is a very good height for the competitions when it comes to men. So for women, you can just reduce about 2 to 3 inches. Now, when it comes to, so this kind of people can able to do yogasana, then athletics. However, athletics also required comparatively uh, lean body. However, those who have a height 5.6 or less, so such people are not suggested for the yogasana competitions. Maybe they opt for the games like Coco and some other running related games, right? Then who is above 6 feet, so they can go for basketball and volleyball. The question: if the people is above 6 feet high, can't they do yogasana? Yes, they can do. However, ideal height is 5.6 to 6 or 6.2 feet. More than 6 feet also can be done. However, first priority is here, second priority, and the third priority. Age also matters. So we know as per the age, we divided into various age categories: sub-juniors, juniors, seniors, senior A, senior B, senior C. Bending, flexibility, strength, all these things more in sub-junior. Junior is also some extent better. Then with the seniors, however, it is in general case. If the athlete is gifted with a bending, gifted with twisting, gifted with hand balancing, leg balancing. These criteria may not be applicable. In general, based on a normal people, this is the priority. If we take people in a young age, we can mold the particular students to get a best in the Yogasana competitions. Of course, even though there have some exceptions, you can opt it. Let's say, for example, I seen some of the examples. Those who starts about 40-45 years old can be able to do some advanced asanas. They can able to do standing chakrasana. They can also do advanced back bending with Natarajasana variations, lying down asanas. So there are always some exceptions. Now, so this major body types also further divided into 5 different male categories. So as we discussed, the most helpful body shapes are rectangle, trapezoid. These are the first two priorities. Later, this is the third priority. These are the least priorities. Now, if you see from the side view, the body is slightly lean and much not wider shoulder, not wider hips. Body types of women, pretty well same when it comes to choosing a athlete. First priority and second priority. Of course, remaining priorities. Now, so we always remember each and every person is unique. So we can't say this is limited. These are the brief overview how we can choose an athlete. So with respect to this, if you got any queries, we'll briefly discuss. After that, we jump into other topics.
Any questions on body type? The coach is inviting queries, doubts, or questions on the body types versus the suitability for yoga. Anybody would like to raise any issues?
Okay. Okay, let's proceed further.
Yes. Now I see Chansa raising the
okay.
thumb.
I'll get back. Okay. Thumb is for continuation or asking question?
Chansa, do you have a question?
Yes, it's just maybe not really a question, but just a concern on the body types, like for males and females. Is there a way of judging depending or awarding marks depending on the body types? Does that really count to say if someone maybe is an ectomorph, you endomorph, to say this one because of his body or our body size is being limited to do or is not flexible? Are you like lenient? Will the judging be so lenient in terms of awarding? Do they consider that, in short? Thank you.
Okay. Right. Can anyone please repeat what Chansa
Let me brief.
Yeah,
as I understand, let me brief you what was the question from Chansa. Is it that depending on the body types, it is your choice to pick up a student, athlete, or is it your is that body type going to influence or affect your judgment from an athlete's performance? Chansa, am I right? Is it what you are raising?
Yes, you are right.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So ultimately, if the athlete steals the hearts of the people with the extraordinary performance, we can't say your body type is not suitable for the competition. I don't select you. Okay. So the thing is, I say this is for a brief overview, so which kind of students we can choose. However, there are so many exceptions. So by this, what we have to understand is we have to see in brief. So how much they have twisting, how much they have forward bending, how much they have backward bending. Very simple. Let's say, for example, if we find 10 people in a group at a place, simply teach them twisty triangle pose. See how many of they can able to do the asana. You can check the twisting. Then you teach slight back bending. See, simply by seeing how many of them are doing back bending much better. Forward bending as usual. So teach some simple leg balancing. Try to teach a very simple hand balancing asana. Let's say bakasana like that. Okay. So you can also by touching the body of the athlete if it is allowed. If it's not opposite gender, of course, as per the customs and traditions you follow. So by touching the body type also you can understand whether this person's body is flexible or rigid. So based on these parameters, you have to come to the conclusion as a coach. Of course, most of the times by seeing the athlete, by seeing a few asanas demonstrated by athlete, we can understand whether this athlete is going to be helpful to us, be an athlete like so. Let's say, for example, if the person is a little bit thin and good enough tall and having the strength in the hands and legs, can be able to do twistings better. Of course, that athlete is a very, very valuable athlete to us. So we can have a talent hunt. We can visit schools, colleges, and we can also see people nearby. We can get the people. Okay. So, however, judging doesn't affect. Judging is always be on how better you demonstrated. Judge role is always finding the ways to cut down the marks, finding the ways, various ways. Here, this athlete is not following this one. This key judging point is missing. Smile is missing. Seeing the details is judge role. If the practitioner does best asanas best way, so just don't remove marks. So simple. Okay, it doesn't affect. I said this is for the general understanding. Hope it answers your question some extent.
Yes, you have answered.
Yeah. Okay. Any more questions before proceed further? Okay, let's move.
People are usually a little nervous talking about the body type, the height, and the other parameters. Please, this is once again to clarify that given a choice, a coach can select from out of the people available the athletes based on their body type, flexibility, and strength and endurance. Now, this can be done in so many ways, as coach says, but definitely this is not going to affect or influence the judgment. Thank you.
Okay, let's continue with the key judging points of backbending. So backbending standing, we are continuing today. Ardha Chandrasana. Ardha means half, Chandra means the moon. The half moon pose. If you see here, you can find the moon. So in this posture, upper body bent back with a parallel to the floor. So upper body parallel to the floor. See, parallel to the floor. Palms in Namaskara Mudra. Biceps contact with ears. Face facing upward. Direction is upward direction. So Bhimasana. Bhima is one of the character name, one of the epics of India. Now, other legs foot should be perpendicular direction to the front foot. Front knee 90 degrees. Front knee 90 degrees. Other leg foot is perpendicular to the direction to the front foot. Chest should be upward direction, facing upward. Hands interlock and fingers rest on the calf. So interlocking position and resting on the calf muscle. If it is keeping on the knee, backside of the knee, so the mark will be reduced for this key judging point. Hands and back leg should be straight. So it should be having straight line. Hands and extended leg must be in a straight line. Face facing out upward. Chamatkarasana. Chamatkara in Sanskrit means miracle. So this asana looks so mesmerizing when we see one leg straight and firmly placed on ground. Straight, firmly placed on the ground. Other leg should be folded 90 degrees angle with only toe touching on the ground. Only toe touching on the ground and keeping 90 degrees angle. One hand firmly placed on the ground. Firmly placed on the ground. Other hand should be straight forward, parallel to the ground, and hands in Jnana Mudra or Chin Mudra. Chin Mudra is touching the tip of the thumb with the tip of the forefinger, extending remaining fingers. Head between both hands and facing forward. Hand and leg which are firmly rested on ground should be in one line. See, these two, the leg and hand must be in a straight line, in a particular one line. Chitrashtakasana. Both palms and one leg firmly placed on the ground. Supporting leg, heel uplift centrally aligned with the both palms. So let's say this is a hand position. This is another hand position. Leg position is centrally aligned in the middle. If you see from the side view, it's not supposed to be either right hand side or left hand side. It must be straight in the middle. Head between both hands, looking forward. Other leg should be stretched, making 60-degree to ground with the toe pointed plantar flexion. So toe pointing and 60 degrees angle. Ekapada Setubandha Chakrasana. So Setubandha means bridge. Ekapada means one legged. Eka means one. Pada means leg. So one-legged Setu Bandha. Setu means bridge. Chakrasana. Chakra means wheel. So it's a combination of bridge and it's a combination of wheel pose. So if you observe here, this is a part of Chakrasana. So if you see Chakrasana is like this, and Setu Bandhasana, if you see it's in a bridge position. So if you remember, bridge position will be like this. So leg position is in a Setu Bandhasana position. Upper back is in Chakrasana position. Amalgamation of these two asanas is Setu Bandha Chakrasana. However, here one leg is lifted from the floor. That's why it is called Ekapada Setu Bandha Chakrasana. Supporting leg, foot, and both hands firmly placed on the ground. So supporting leg this one and hands firmly placed on the ground. Supporting leg and same hand should be in a one line. Other leg should be folded perpendicular to the ground, knee facing up, head between both hands and looking forward. Nandi Gosha Asana. Nandi Gosha Asana. Athlete must be in back bend position, support leg, foot, and same hands firmly placed on the ground, support leg, and same hand firmly placed on the floor in one straight line. Other leg's toes should be locked behind the neck here. So it's just behind the neck, locked. Both knees together. You mean both knees joined together like this. Okay. Other hand should be stretched forward parallel to the ground in Jnana Mudra. So if you observe, some of the asanas is in Jnana Mudra, you have to remember in some of the asanas Jnana Mudra is facing upward, some of the asanas is Jnana Mudra is facing downward. This is also one of the key point to be remembered. Both hands and supporting leg should be straight. Straight line. Head between the both hands and looking forward. Veera Nilasana. So Veera Nila in Sanskrit means moonlight. So in this Veera Nilasana, front leg foot should be in front direction. The direction must be front side. Other leg foot should be perpendicular direction to front leg. 90 degrees angle in knee of front leg. 90 degrees angle. Back parallel to the floor. Hands in Namaskara Mudra in contact with the ear. So you have to close your ears with the bicep. Hands in Namaskara Mudra in contact with the ear. Also close the ear. Hands and back leg in a straight line. Hands, back leg in a straight line. Hands and back in a straight line. Hands and back leg in a straight line. Face facing upward. Darukasana. One leg, same hand firmly placed on the ground. Here the athlete, if you observe, right side part of the leg, right leg and right foot, right hand placed on the ground on the same side. Uplift the other leg parallel to the ground, so horizontal to the ground, toe pointed up outward. Same hand should be placed on the thigh of the lifted leg. So hand placed on the thigh. Chin touching the chest. Here, gazing upward. Eyes gazing upward. The next one, Gajanana Asana. So Gajam in Sanskrit means elephant. You see it resembles an elephant. So that's why they termed as Gajanana Asana. Both legs together. Athlete should catch knees with the respective hands. So catch the knees with respective hands. Hands and legs straight. So if you see hands are straight, legs are straight in straight line. Chest expansion, chin up, head drop. Chest expansion, maximum expansion, chin up and head drop. Girijasana. One leg firmly placed on ground with a 45 degrees angle. Other leg's foot is plantar flexion, heel up. Same arm of front leg stretched back. Same arm of back leg stretched forward. One hand is front side, one hand is back side. Both hands, chest and head should be in one line. Both hands, chest, head should be in one line. So a straight line. Hands in Jnana Mudra, gazing upward. Mukhottanasana. Both legs firmly placed on the ground, parallel to each other. Firm grip with both hands on ankle. Here, both knees, legs, hands straight. Both knees straight. Both hands straight. And both legs completely straight. Head placed in between the arms. Whole body should stretch upward, face facing forward. Adhomukha Hastottanasana. Adhomukha means backward, bending, backward facing. Hastottanasana. Hasta means hands. So Adhomukha means backward facing. Hasta means hands. Uttana, it's a junction word. Hasta plus Uttana. Hastottanasana, it's a combination of two words. Uttanasana. Uttana means, asana means posture. Uttana means intense stretch. So it's a backward facing and intense stretch. Both legs together and firmly placed on the ground. Both legs together means to join together. Backward bend from lower back. So bending must be from the lower back. Both hands should stretch backward and in Namaskara Mudra. So hands need to be in Namaskara Mudra. Both knees, legs and hands are straight. Both knees, legs and hands are straight. Hands, knees and legs are in a straight line. Head placed in between arms, ear, touching the biceps. face facing forward. Purna Chakrasana, full wheel pose. Purna means complete or full. Chakra means wheel. So it's a full wheel pose. Chakra. Both both hands and legs firmly placed on the ground with shoulder distance. The gap between the hands must be shoulder distance. Both knees, legs and hands straight. Head placed in between arms, ear touching biceps. Fingertips should touch each heels here. Face facing forward. Body should project upward making maximum height. Meaning need to push lower back upward. Chakra Garudasana. It's the combination of Chakrasana and Garudasana. So this is Chakrasana. Garudasana, it's a combination of a Garudasana and Chakrasana. So Chakra Garudasana. Right. One leg and both hands firmly placed on the ground. One leg, both hands firmly placed on the ground. Shoulder distance in hands. The gap between the hands is shoulder width. Other leg should cross the supporting leg and interlock of foot at calf. So need to be crossed and interlock the other leg. Hands straight and parallel to each other. Head should be placed in between arms, ear and touching biceps. Supporting leg placed in between both hands, face facing forward. Body should project upward making maximum height. So here also upward making maximum height. Chakra Vyuha Asana. One leg and both hands firmly placed on the ground. So as usual, shoulder distance in hands, other leg should be locked in lateral part of the stomach. So first the athlete folds the leg on the lateral side of the body. This done by athlete after coming to hand chakrasana variation, folds the one of the leg and again goes to chakrasana. Hands straight parallel to each other, biceps in contact with ears, head placed in between arms, ears touching biceps, supporting leg, same hand in one line. So means supporting leg, let's say supporting leg is right hand must be with the same line. It's not like both legs are two hands are there, leg must be in the middle. So in order to get more balance, they keep leg in the middle. It's not like that. So need to be aligned with the leg and hand of the same side. Face facing forward. Body should project upward making maximum height. Ekapada Urdhva Danda Dhanurasana. So Ekapada means one leg, Urdhva means upward, Danda Dhanurasana. Dhanur means the bow. So it's a combination of two asanas. One leg and both hands firmly placed on the ground, shoulder distance, legs stretched in a 180-degree split, hands straight with the fingers closed. So if they keep fingers open, then there will be more grip to the athlete. So that's why they said need to have a closed grip. to ensure no the athlete don't get additional grip on the floor. Supporting leg in both hands, between the both hands. So here leg must be in between the both hands. So you remember this is small things. Some asanas they say so parallel to the leg. Some asanas they say in the middle. So in the middle of the leg or in the middle of the hand. These are the minest things. You also observe the pointing of the toes and adapting mudras and keeping the facing face direction and chin lock, knees, legs. So you have to remember these simple key judging points. That's why they said key judging points. You're making mistakes in those, no, the person loses marks. So back maximum height. Mahakarnasana. Both legs firmly placed on the ground. One leg should be placed on one step forward. Firm grip with the both hands on one leg's ankle. Backbone should touch backside of the thigh. See here, backside of the thigh. Head placed in between arms. Whole body should be stretched upwards, face facing forward. So if you observe, here is an one of the extreme back bending in Mahakarnasana. Konarkasana. If you remember the Purna Chakrasana, complete back bending, from complete back bending, athlete balancing only with one leg, only with one hand, remaining leg and hand, lifted from the floor in order to support the leg and hand. One leg and opposite hand firmly placed on the ground. So let's say hand, 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 leg, leg. So one leg, one hand firmly placed on the floor, opposite side one. So this is we have to observe here. Firm grip of same hand on ankle of supporting leg. Firm grip of same hand on ankle of supporting leg. Let's say here supporting leg is right leg. So ankle holding is also right hand. The same side of the leg. Other legs foot locked in same armpit. So leg must be marked at the armpit. So right hand to the right leg to the left leg to the left hand. Supporting leg and hand straight, head placed in between the arms, whole body stretch upwards as usual, face facing forward. So here we can observe some repetitive asana requirements. So face the head in between the hands, all these things. Ekapada, Lambakona, Chakrasana. One leg and opposite hand firmly placed on the ground. Firm grip of same hand on ankle of support leg. Other leg should be lifted in 90 degrees. So if you observe, one leg placed on the floor, one hand placed on the floor, another hand catch the ankle and leg is in a 90 degrees. Other leg is parallel to the ground. Supporting leg and hand straight, head placed in between arms, whole body stretching upward, face facing forward. Kambalasana. One leg and both hands firmly placed on the ground. Other leg lifted up perpendicular to the ground. Upper leg should be folded in knee having 90 degrees. See upper leg 90 degrees. Up Supporting leg should be placed in between the hands. So in between the hands. Straight leg, supporting leg knee should be straight as much as possible. So this is supporting leg on the floor, knee as straight as possible. Head should be uplifted from front, making maximum bending. See, in all these back bendings, if you observe, back bending is maximum. Purabrasana, hands holding the thigh and below pointing downward, feet at a 45 degrees angle. See, this is a back bending after doing chakrasana. They go to Purna chakrasana. After that, they slowly try to place the elbows on the floor. After that, they catch the ankle. They slowly raise their hands upwards, climbing the leg and catches the thighs here. So this is Uruprasana. Feet at a 45 degrees angle. See the angle. Head should be maximum uplifted between the thighs. Head rising up. Face need to be facing forward. Look straight. Mahanilasana. Literally twisted body in back bend. See, if you observe, entire body is moved to the right hand side of this athlete. Feet firmly placed on the ground, having shoulder distance parallel to each other. One knee should be gripped by opposite hand. So one knee should be gripped by opposite hand. Meaning, so there is only one hand and one leg. Other hand placed on the ground near foot. Both legs and supporting hand in one line. So two legs are on the floor, one hand on the floor, another hand is catching the leg. Athlete should project head upward, making maximum back bending, face facing forward. Both legs together, firmly placed on the Dimbasana. Both legs together, firmly placed on the ground. Firm grip in both hands and lower part of the shin bone here. Back of shoulder in contact with the glute muscles. So here glute and shoulder have contact. Both knees, legs, hands straight, head placed in between arms. Ear in contact with biceps, whole body stretching upward, face facing forward. So here two key points are catching at the shin bone and glute muscles have contact with the shoulder. Dvaja Dvarasana, ground. Other leg stretched upward in 180 degree. Okay. Dvaja Dvarasana. One leg, opposite hand, firmly placed on the ground, other leg stretched 180 degrees. Next point, head placed in between arms here, touching the biceps, face facing forward. So here, the key point is leg should be in a 180 degrees and the hand have to catch the ankle here. That's one of the key judging point. Next one, Kosha Krumikasana. One leg should be placed at lateral part of the back. Both hands firmly placed on ground with the shoulder distance, gap between the shoulders, hands shoulder width distance. Other leg in between both hands. Same shoulder in contact with the supporting leg. So here need to touch supporting leg and shoulder. Athlete should project upward facing maximum back bending. Here in contact with the thigh of supporting leg. Here also have contact with the leg. Here face facing upward. Face facing forward. Right? We come to the end of a back bending standing asanas. Get back to okay. So let us know if anyone got some queries with respect to back bendings. Anyone got questions? Please get back to us.
This is an opportunity to learn. If you had come across any doubts or questions, this is the opportunity for you to have them addressed by the most experienced coach that we have today, Raghavendra ji. Feel free.
So here, as we observe, the very important things to remember, you can divide the asana key judging points, the head, the hands, the legs, the contact between all these things. Let's say contact between hand and head, contact between the trunk and legs, contact between the trunk and ears, sorry, trunk and hands, so on. So you have to divide this into 4 or 5 segments: hands, legs, trunk, head. You have to check this. If it is a one-legged position, check the ankle and direction. Okay. If it is a leg balancing practice, see other leg is how it is supporting, what is the condition of the hands. So simple. So in meanwhile, we have to observe the asanas. We have to start seeing the key judging points. What we can do, we can randomly we repeatedly need to see the postures in the code of points. When we see again and again, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, it's clear.
Hello.
It's clear. Your voice is clear. We are able to hear it very, very
Can
well.
you hear me? Okay, fine. So we have to observe that. We have to remember the postures. Of course, remembering the names are also a difficult task. Okay, it comes with a repetition, frequent repetition. However, if we frequently see the asana and the key judging points, okay, this one, we don't need to read all the key judging points. If you see key judging points in one asana, the things you have to remember maybe 1 or 2 only. Remaining are pretty well repetitive nature. Okay, so what you have to do now? So how many charts we have? 10 charts we have. However, we could able to cover about 4 charts. So this is for an understanding. Now, as we are having very less time, instead of simply going through the asanas and reading and just cross checking in the postures, so you can do it as a homework. Of course, most of the questions will not be asked in the difficulty level charts. So we can have a discussion on the topics wherever you feel you need a little bit more light. Okay, just give me a moment. I'd like to share. Prakarji, do you have questions?
Yes. I have a statement to make.
Yes, please.
The first statement that I wanted to make is,
okay,
if at all I am ever able to make Mahanilasan, if I am able to crack that asan Mahanilasan, I will throw a party to all of you. Mahanilasan seems to be difficult for me. And if I'm able to crack Konarkasan, much more difficult. I think I should be ready to throw a party to the whole of Uganda. What I'm trying to tell you is that these two asanas seem to be two very difficult, but folks, don't get confused with this. The coach is not asking you to master all these asanas. They are all of D category asanas. So, as a judge, when you are going to go for the further coaching training as a judge, these are the points that you have to take as a key point in the judgment. Okay, now my question to you, sir, is in Gajananasan, Gajananasan, chin to the chest, but not Jalandhar Bandh. Is it right? It is only chin to the chest. That is my first
Yes,
question.
if it is yes, yes. If it is Jalandhar Bandha, they simply mention Jalandhar Bandha. Just a touch chin to the chest.
Excellent. Clear. Now, my general question to you is, most of the times when we are bending either forward or backward, we see that the palms or the hands are not very firm for a long time, And I'm talking about both hands and both feet. Now, in most of these asanas, where we have seen only one foot or one palm touching the ground. Now, the condition of how to master the condition of balancing well when we bend backward or forward while touching only one of the hands and one of the legs. Is there any particular technique to be used?
Okay, just let me try to share my screen. Just a moment. I'm not going to. I'm just going to share the screen so that I can draw something on the canvas so that you can understand so much better. Just a moment. Okay.
Austin. Okay, Odimo.
Yeah, can anyone please person? No. So if we observe
Mr. Chansa, are you trying to raise
back
a
bending
question?
starts with a simple back bending like Ardha Chakrasana. Oh, just a moment. Back bending called Ardha Chakrasana. So they support the hand. Okay. Let anyone got questions?
Yeah, Mr. Chansa.
Yes, please.
Of a question on the key judging points.
Okay.
What is the order of judging? I mean by this, for example, in mathematics, we have this topic, say, simultaneous equations. And basically, in solving simultaneous equations, there are many methods, of which the two most common ones are elimination and substitution, which can get you to the right answer. Suppose if an athlete is not following the points from the top to the bottom, or from the first point to the last, but still arrives at the correct posture, how is the judging being done, or how is the judging going to be?
Okay. So the question I understood is, so how the athlete get marks? So if the
Yes.
athlete directly comes to the asana, or if the athlete skips some of the steps in the asana. However, come to the final posture at the end, how they are going to get the marks? Yes.
Um, not really skipping. If like
Okay.
maybe starting from the bottom, arriving
Okay.
at the correct posture, but he has shown all those points. How is the marking or judging going to be?
So marking is pretty much clear. So if we see micro marking system, so it's bifurcated into various segments. So mounting we have marks, demounting we have marks, and other key judging points, whatever we are referring. All these key judging points also have marks. Time also having marks. So when it comes to giving marks, mounting, demounting marks the athlete gets. However, when it comes to key judging points, the judge sees. So what are the key judging points covered? Based on the key judging points, they give the marks. If the key judging points is partially covered, so maybe the marks are supposed to give that to that particular key judging point, maybe given half of the marks of that particular key judging point. Let's say, for example, in some key judging point, that key judging point is having more weightage. Let's say, for example, we were discussing about back bendings. So the code of point says that maximum upward bending. So that might be having a more weightage when it comes to that particular asana, even though the athlete is following all the remaining key judging points. Maybe the athlete gets some extent of marks. Maybe some more marks will be allotted to the upward bending, because that is actually very much important with respect to key judging points, right? It's always depends upon the key factor of that particular asana. Let's say, for example, if it is a twisting will be given the first priority. If it is a hand balancing is given first priority. If it is a leg balancing is given first priority. Remaining the facing of the head, maybe hand gestures, maybe touching the ear, so on. All these might have a little bit of a less priority while giving the marks. So the key aspect we need to remember is it is come from which category. That category will be giving the first priority, and remaining are auxiliary or supporting. So at the end of the day, the category is our guide.
Coach.
Yes.
I'm clear.
Excellent. Mr. Vipul.
Namaste, Raghavendra ji.
Namaste ji.
While I was just thinking about between this time and when I raised question, I was just thinking my question is, I think, answered. My question was rather,
Okay.
this all positions or all asanas mainly, chakrasan is the main thing, and then we have to do some variations. Am I
Yes.
correct?
Yes, exactly. I was supposed to share answer for Sudhakar ji. So how to master hand, back bendings. I was just supposed to share my screen. So meanwhile, I started getting the questions. Okay. So after this question and answers, I try to share more about this.
Okay. So I mean, first we do chakrasan or athlete do chakrasan, and then
Okay.
they do variations, lifting one leg, hand, and some other
Yes,
twisting.
exactly.
Okay, and
Yes.
one more thing, which is also answered already. I mean, since it is, it's backward bending. So first
Okay.
thing is thinking that even chakrasan we can do first lying on the floor and then do chakrasan. But
Yes.
this is not so, because it is, mentioned is backward bending. So then
Yes.
only on standing position we have to do backward bending and do the chakras.
Yes.
So answered. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yone, please, you may proceed.
Yuan.
Yuan. Okay.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering if when I saw all those asanas who look very intricate, is there a syllabus in which you can learn how to build it up if you teach those things to people? How you go step by step? Because now you see the end result, but I have no idea how you would get there.
Okay. So yes, there is some of the asanas which recorded for learning. So which we seen in WhatsApp group. Some of them is Swadiji shared. Okay. Some more asanas maybe hopefully come in the future. However, uh, some of the key asanas they started from the beginning, so level 1, level 2, so on, so that first athlete can focus on level 1 asanas. When the athlete can able to do the level 1 asanas, their body is pretty much ready for the level 2 practices and so on. So the idea is uh, things takes time, as you know. So if we want to see a birth of a baby takes 9 months time. It really requires time to see changes when it comes to yogasana. Okay, so it's just a matter
For
of
instance,
time.
yeah. For instance,
Yes.
level 4 asanas, what does it correspond with if you look at to the A to E levels?
I'm not sure what is the perception or perception of the the coach who is making these asanas. Maybe in order to encourage the people, or maybe in order to share the asanas in a difficulty level chart. I'm not sure about that. However, it's a sequential order. If we follow the sequence, so that we can able to do the asanas much better, easy way when we directly trying E category, D category asanas. It's just like a stepping stone. Step 1, step 2, step 3, so on.
Okay, thank you.
So maybe different perception of the coaches. In fact, most of the asanas need to be done in presence of the teacher, in front of the teacher, so that immediately if there is any some mistake doing by the athlete, because whoever doing the asana, they don't know whether they are doing correct or wrong. Even any one of us doing our own asanas, even though we pretty well know about the key judging points, call the code of points, even though we are doing, we make mistakes. It's a general tendency of the people, because we know the asana, human as a being, we know the asana. Body is not in a position to adapt the asana. Body have limitations. We don't have limitations. We are eternal. Our soul goes here and there far. However, body has limitations. We have to overcome this limitation with a consistent practice. Constancy is the key here. Constancy of aim and constancy of effort. If we have constant aim, if we do not have constant effort, we can't be able to produce the results. We need to have a aim constantly and efforts constantly.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Chansa.
Chansa.
I'm back again. Sam,
Okay.
I want to be clear. Since in my case, I'm a male and who's trained to become a coach. Now, if I'm like to be teaching the students or athletes in my school, which gender am I going to be dealing with? Since you said boys and girls cannot be mixed, so would I be just training or teaching the boys only and not dealing with the girls?
Okay. So it is up to the coach. So as far as my understanding, it is up to the coach. So sometimes what happens, sometimes let's take my example. In the beginning, I had young kids, middle-aged people. I started teaching all of the people at a time. So based on the requirement, I started teaching. So some people may have a stigma that so I should not teach women or old people. Maybe they have complications. It might lead some more complications. So however, things provided, we can teach different age groups. We have to go to their standard of understanding of the teachings, and we have to teach from their point of view. So we have to teach yoga to the kids like a play, like a game. If we are teaching to middle-aged people, it must be stimulation, relaxation back to back. To stimulate with asana, give some relaxation. In the relaxation, you may share some knowledge input, some facts, so on. So like that. So if the people is most of having aged people, senior citizens are like so, what we need to do? We need to focus a little bit less on the physical part. We may teach some extent to keep their health, strong and healthy, and we can teach pranayama, breathing practices, okay, some meditations, some philosophy. They love to listen to philosophy like that. So it depends upon person to person, the interest level of the student, interest level of the coach, circumstances, need, demand, so many factors. So whom you want to teach is up to you. It's unique with everyone. However, Yogasana Bharat and World Yogasana gave code of points to us. So we have 6 age categories. So you can teach in competition point of view to all the age groups, no exception. If you want, you can also teach people who is also beyond the age groups other than competition purposes. So it is up to the coach, up to the athlete.
I have a supplemental question arising from Mr. Chansa's question. Probably this is his underlying question. As a coach, if he is not fit enough to do a particular exercise, asana, which is rather difficult for him, is he eligible to teach the athlete the same very asana, highlighting whatever key judging points, blah, blah, blah? Is it right to do so, or do you insist that for such complicated postures, the athlete should be exposed only to such coaches who can really handle those exercises? This is his underlying question.
Okay. So the coach or the person who is teaching need to understand technicalities of the teaching methodology. So as we were discussing, it's also needed to be understood. Let's say, let's simplify. So we came across judges in competition, we came across coaches in competition. We have to understand when it comes to judge, part is so simple. Let's say, for example, I am judging one competition. The athlete performance, let's say it is artistic yoga solo. I see 2.5 minutes, done. My work done. What I do, I just point out all the, whatever the mistakes the athlete doing, I just give the marks for what they did. My part done. How much time? 2.5 minutes done. As a judge, what I see for mistakes. However, when it comes to coach, if that particular athlete wants to give that 2.5 minute practice demonstration, the athlete might undergo intense practice for several months, several years, maybe sometimes some decades. Okay, so for being a judge, We just need to have a full grip of the code of points and interest, the timing sense. So doing the timely. However, when it comes to coaching, it is completely different, because you need to know about the diet. You need to know about the different body types, how the body types is responding. You need to know about the different needs of the different athletes, because each athlete is not same. Various aspects involved here. Okay, so here the coach need to understand the technicalities of teaching, methodologies of teaching, and safety of the athlete. So safety of the athlete is foremost important. When we are teaching, if we are not taking care of the precautionary measures, it might lead an injury. Let's say, for example, the athlete is doing the split based asanas. If we not uh, give some preparatory practices for the splits, there may be a muscle tear, sometimes it may be ligament tear due to intensive pressure in that particular stretch. So it leads to injury. So here what we simply need to understand is, we always keep in our mind, every single athlete is different. We have to say you have to do as per your capacity, and we have to have understanding. We can also need to keep notes of athletes. Let's say, for example, athlete, what are the let's say you can give a rating on a scale of 5, on a scale of 10. It's just for your sake of understanding. Let's say, for example, athlete A, maybe male or female. So on a scale of 5, what you give on that particular day for back bending, just let's say 1 star. Okay, so in the same way, you can give a starring or rating to the remaining categories. Now you have to focus. So which area that particular athlete needs to be uh, put more energy and efforts. Based on that, you have to plan a tentative training plan that particular athlete. Let's say, for example, if the competition is once in a year, you need to have a first preparation for 2 to 3 months. Okay, after that, intense practices with advanced postures, with key judging points corrections, and pre competition period, post competition period. We need to split the entire year into different segments in order to train the particular athlete. So in the process, we need to understand. Meanwhile, I would like to share the screen and also cover the earlier answer, so which helps to answer the both questions. Let's see, let's say, for example, this is a preparatory stage. Let's say back bending we were discussing. This is Ardha Chakrasana, very basic backward bending stretch. So for the question asked by Sudhakar ji also, so how to improve the bending and how to improve a single leg or single hand balancing in the back bendings. Now the athlete need to start with very basics like Ardha Chakrasana. Then slowly, so it's another variation is Ustrasana. So yeah. So after that, the athlete need to slowly improve from Ustrasana to Purna Ustrasana, and from Ardha Chakrasana to Chakrasana. After that, Purna Chakrasana. After that, Dimbasana. So it's just a matter of time and repetition. and rest. So slowly, athletes start learning the practices and improves the asana. After improving, let's say for example, if the athlete is doing chakrasana, let's say, so I am showing this asana diagonally so that you can understand a better way. Let's say legs, hands. Let's say if the athlete gap between two hands, two legs, if the bending is less, so there will be more pressure. There will be more pressure in the legs. The weight of the trunk is not properly aligned in the legs. Here, if you observe, this is the weight of the trunk is not properly aligned in the legs and in the hands. Let's say, for example, if the athlete is doing asana with much more back bending, the weight of the body is properly aligned in the hands. If you observe, the hands is in a most probably straight line, legs are also in straight line. The weight of the body can be easily able to bear by the hands and legs. It is not the same with the above case. The legs is far away here and the hands is far away. So more pressure will be here at the legs and shoulder. So that's how the moment when the bending improves, slowly, more grip will be there in the legs and hands. Meanwhile, the athlete need to first slowly try to lift the one of the leg, not doing some advanced stretch or advanced asana, simply trying to lift the another leg in the air and try to hold the position and keep that again back and again try with the hand, slightly lift from the floor just to see how much strength that particular athlete have in the hands or legs. So it's just a repetitive practice. Of course, supervision of the coach. So slowly, the athlete builds the muscle memory of the athlete remembers. So if there is a one hand, how much the strength, how if it is a one-handed asana, how much the strength is required to the particular hand, how much weight it can bear. All these things slowly develops in the athletes. So as we know, muscle have memory. As we know, joints, muscles, and tendons responds to the pressure, responds to the tension, to the various biological changes within the body. It's just a practice, practice, practice under the supervision of well-known coach or well-known trainer.
For me, a small question.
Yes, Jerome, please go ahead, sir.
No, about this, Mr. Chansa, how Chansa has raised the question, boys and
You see
girls.
in the artistic school kids, they use it to practice 3 hours in the morning. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, please.
Yes, Chansa raised the point and you have answered. But how it is that question has come, that I am little curious to understand. Because one time during this training, you told that when pair playing or pair performance, either two girls or two boys should be there. That was the point only you have mentioned. Otherwise, girls and only where is Mr. Chansa? You understood the answer. How the question has come, I want to know. Just question is already answered. Hello, Mr. Chansa. He's not there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What I got from the coach, what I got from the teacher, is that it all depends on who I want to teach and just to know the people that are there. If it is the elderly people, if it is the kids, really the situation will decide itself to say I need to teach them, and this is the content that I can give them. That's what I learned or got from the teacher.
Correct,
So
correct.
I can teach. I'll be
Yes,
teaching
okay.
everyone.
Yes, your answer is got the satisfactory answer, that is okay. But how question has come that girls and boys, that is how question has come in your mind?
The question came into my mind because I was looking at it at the competition level to say boys and girls are always separated, and when they are on the when they are away for the tournament or championship, they will be handled by different coaches. The girls will be managed by the woman coach, and the boys will be managed by a male coach. That's
No,
how
but
it came up.
it is clear now the answer. Coach has given the answer.
Okay, let me give us some more light here. So let's say, for example, you taught to your kid in the beginning in a regional level. So when the athlete, learned all the practices in an extraordinary way and gave the best output and selected for higher level. So you may not be there in that case. That particular coach take care of the athlete. It's not necessary to the women players, only women coach, or men players, only men coach. There may not be the same case, because the particular person who pretty well know about the teaching some subject, so the particular federation or the group of people who decided this person will be the coach, they may choose maybe male or female, it doesn't matter. Okay, so the simple thing is we have to teach at our place
Gender is
to
available.
boys and girls, whoever available.
It's okay. Question is answered. Answered. Fine. Okay.
I guess that is the end of any other questions arising, and we are already far behind the schedule. I just have a curiosity to know who is this person logging in with 4TKSXQ. Can you please identify yourself, whoever is having the screen name 4TKSXQ, which is the password of this meeting? Are you with us? I'm just a little curious because we don't want eavesdroppers. We need to know that only authorized people are coming. Anyway, the program is open, but we just wanted to know how exactly it is being performed. Fine. Time for Shanti part. This Shanti part today, I suggest Coach Raghavendra ji to offer for a change. For a change.
Okay. So before that, I'd like to ask all of the participants in the meet, maybe those who see the video also, how was the preparation? You will be having examination.
Good question.
Okay. So whatever the topics we covered so far, the questions directly comes from the topics. Revise again and again. For your good sake, I share the same syllabus, the copy of the syllabus in the WhatsApp. Again, go thorough about it. So maybe tomorrow session, we will be having a discussion on the question and answers instead of going to the key judging points. So you got some clarity how to go with the key judging points. So we are not going to put more time, energy, and effort there. We will be discussing, we'll be having question and answer session maybe tomorrow, so that whatever the questions you got, you get the questions on a paper. One by one, you can ask questions on certain topics, so we can discuss, so that it may be some knowledgeable session. So someone raised hands, Chansa, have queries, and
It's just on the exam. When are we writing? Is it tomorrow?
Sudhakarji will give much better
Yes,
clarification in
the
this
exam
regard.
is going to take place. The examination is going to take place online through the Google questions answer sheet. About 50 or 100 questions are going to be set, which are all having multiple choices. And there will be a time of 1 hour given for answering those questions, where you have to just select those options. And this will be taking place on Saturday, the 18th. And the questions are not going to be very critically placed. They will be rather easy in their nature, but a little difficult to understand the subtle differences that the multiple options have, which is why you are strongly advised to go through the whole syllabus once or twice with particular reference to the COP mostly. I guess this is answered, and now regarding I think Yuvan's question originally was that coach Raghavendra had promised some synopsis of the portions to be made known to the people before the examinations.
Okay.
I guess this is the same very question she is raising. Now you have already answered, Mr. Raghavendra, that you are going to place them on the WhatsApp group. I think so. It is okay. I guess now we're already out of time pretty well. So let's go for the Shanti part to conclude the program for today. Raghavendra,
Okay.
propose.
Put your hands at the heart center. Smile. Inhale slowly and exhale slowly. And just relax. You may mentally or verbally repeat after me. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. A beautiful smile. You may open your eyes.